let's get into the game. In the bottom right-hand corner, we have the blue Zerg Liquid Zenio. And in the top left-hand corner, we have Fnatic Nightend as the red Protoss. I saw you shut up. You know, it's funny. Morgan came out, and he corrected us. It wasn't an Indiana Jones whip. It was a dominatrix whip. I wonder where we got that from.
What? I don't want to continue off that thought because Morgan is giving us the death
He's
stare.
giving us the death stare, man.
But people are asking for another tip about women. I feel like I have so many.
See?
I have so many to do that. But Nightend, he's our producer's saying no, man. He hates women. Is that what you're saying?
No.
No, he's not. Game information, not about outside the game information. That's what we're focusing on today. Let's introduce our players.
We're catering to our fellow.
No, there's a lot of females
comrades.
watching. All the females watching it in StarCraft 2. Thank you so much for tuning in. We want to respect you. In fact, our switcher tonight is Kylie, and she's doing a fantastic job. Thank you so much. And God, I don't know. I'm so impressed by how much she's learned in such a short amount of time. So it's very cool to have girls in esports. But let's introduce our players. Andre, kick it off for us.
All right. So I already said that, unfortunately. But let me go into the 2 base timings, because I think that's one of the most important things on Antiga Shipyard. Really, Void Array play is one of the most feared plays on this map. And not necessarily like if you know your opponent is doing it, it's still hard to stop, but it's the fact that your opponent could do it. The main problem, a Void Array can look up here and do a lot of damage into the main. Not only that, they can charge up on the destructible debris over here, and all of a sudden start pushing the third with really good positioning. Obviously, Roaches have a really bad concave over here, and on top of that, they have that charge which is so hard to actually get ready. So Voiders are definitely a really big problem. There are a bunch of other 2-base all-ins that your opponents could do, or they can just go macro style. So there's a lot of options for Protoss on this map, and it really forces Zerg to be either a little bit assumption-based, and you know, it's not really coin flipping, but they try to say, I hope my opponent isn't doing this because I'm geared to defend against this subset of builds, or they have to play super standard or super defensive, and they end up losing out when it comes down to just a sheer macro game.
I was really hoping you were going to say super macro game, because everything is just super, according to Andre.
Did I say super a lot?
You said super like 4 times in your description.
All right.
I was like, man, I think Andre needs a little bit more superlatives. But no worries. No, I understand completely what you're saying. The 2-base timings can be very devastating. In fact, we've seen a lot of mix-ups in terms of PvZ with 1-base openings, although of course that's not how it is whatsoever. But MC has been showing some pretty cool things, especially in his fight club against Stefano. We saw an interesting build on Antiga, and the general consensus is that aggression on Antiga is pretty good because you can manage and bounce back. Of course, with Protoss, if you can kind of prevent Zerg from moving out the natural and take out the third. Same thing with Zerg, you can take out the debris and try to shut down the third before Protoss is really able to establish any form of defense. And that's actually might be out of the question, because what do we see in the production tab?
We see a Baneling Nest.
And
interesting.
Yeah, a lot of Zerg is being produced.
I think his opponent is just saying, well, I'm going to punish you for having this SimCity. The SimCity is really weird. A Sentry is the first unit out, though. But there are 2 main areas of contention.
He got a Stargate, too, and the Stargate, yeah, sure, Banelings and Zerglings can attack it, but it can't really stop a huge force of Zerglings. Oh, but
no, it's outside of the range.
Oh, okay. You knew exactly what I was saying, but that could have been pretty bad if you saw. But he's making 6 Banelings, which should be more than enough if he wants to target the pylon or the cannon.
Yes. Now, one thing to note is he can easily put a gateway down here, but as soon as this pylon gets destroyed, it's actually unpowered over there. And here we go. What will he actually target?
He's going to go for the cannon, and the entry point has been broken wide open. Oh, no. Nightend has nothing. The 2 Banelings actually survived and managed to be able to chase down some of these probes, and the probes are fighting them head on. The Zerglings also getting into it, and Nightend losing all of his probes. GG. And a very well-executed Baneling bust from Zenio, and Nightend never really stood a chance against that kind of build, especially by the way he was teching.
No, it's the SimCity, man.
And the SimCity.
The SimCity crushed him. He was not not well equipped to deal with that. Obviously, one force field wasn't enough. I think he should have just protected the photon cannon at all costs and went from there. His second sentry was coming up.
Because even if he protected the photon cannon, there's still a pylon. Like, the idea is that the SimCity was spread out so much that one force field couldn't cover all the weak spots.
I know. But would you protect a pylon or would you protect a photon cannon?
That's true. In the end, you got to protect the cannon.
It's just the best of the two. It's unfortunate because I still think it's a crummy situation no matter what. I still feel like that SimCity doesn't gear himself to defend against any incoming pushes like that. But really nicely played. Zenio just mixing it up and showing his mix-up is enough to beat his opponent.
So Zenio takes the series 2-1 and moves up in his division, getting another point to his collection to try to see if he can rank up his division. Of course, jockeying for playoff position. You can find all of that at NASL.tv.